Yeah, we're going to be talking about learning to love today, and Gurdjieff has some definite ideas about that, and we're going to go over some of those ideas about how we can practice learning to love, something which is not a natural thing, and only comes about as we reach the age of maturity and perhaps over a lifetime. But I did want to start out with the classic description of what love is at its highest form from 1 Corinthians, and it's just a couple verses here. 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 8. Love endures long and is patient and kind. Love never is envious nor boils over with jealousy, is not boastful or vainglorious, does not display itself haughtily. It is not conceited, which is arrogant and inflated with pride. It is not rude, which is unmannerly, and does not act unbecomingly. Love, God's love in us, does not exist on its own rights or its own way, for it is not self-seeking. It is not touchy or fretful or resentful. It takes no account of the evil, pays no attention to a suffered wrong. It does not rejoice at injustice and unrighteousness, but rejoices when right and truth prevail. Love bears up under anything and everything that comes, and is ever ready to believe the best of every person. Its hopes are fadeless under all circumstances, and it endures everything without weakening. Love never fails, never fades out, or becomes obsolete, or comes to an end. And that is from the Amplified Version. I want to shift over now to some thoughts that Gurdjieff had in one of his early talks on love. He says, love may be of different kinds. To understand what kind of love we are speaking about, it is necessary to define it. Now, we are speaking about love for life. Wherever there is life, beginning with plants, for they too have life, animals, in a word, wherever life exists, there is love. Each life is a pre-presentative of God. Well, that's what it says. Whoever can see the representative will see him who is represented. Every life is sensitive to love. Even inanimate things such as flowers, which have no consciousness, understand whether you love them or not. Even unconscious life reacts in a corresponding way to each man and responds to him according to his reactions. As you sow, so you reap. And not only in the sense that you sow wheat, you will get wheat. The question is how you sow. It can literally turn to straw. On the same ground, different people can sow the same seeds, and the results will be different. But these are only seeds. Man is certainly more sensitive to what is sown in him than a seed. Animals are also very sensitive, although less so than man. For instance, a person was sent to look after the animals. Many became ill and died. The hens laid fewer eggs, and so on. Even a cow will give less milk if you do not love her. The difference is quite startling. And just an aside here, I can vouch for that. I believe that that's true. I've seen that in my own life. If you apply the love to the plants and the animals, you can see the difference, believe me. They will respond to you differently and most appropriately in the clarity of their own being, depending upon what you bring to the table as far as they are concerned. And a little bit farther down. Now, if you want to work on yourself, you must work out in yourself different kinds of attitudes. Except with big and more clear-cut things which are undeniably bad, you have to exercise yourself in this way. If you like a rose, try to dislike it. If you dislike it, try to like it. you have to fight against your own tendencies sometimes, because love has to be manifested despite our own internal preferences, our mechanical obstructions. And let me just tell, and this is going to be the last part of the story. Yesterday, I was going to the Rite Aid to pick up a couple things. It's a pharmacy here in Bakersfield during my lunch hour. And as I was pulling into the parking lot and parked, right next to me there was a van with a Muslim family. I say Muslim on account of the woman had the typical headscarf on of a Muslim woman, and the man, who I assumed to be the father, got out of the car and immediately went for the front door of the Rite Aid, followed by 3 of his older children, probably 12, 10, and 8, or something like that. And a smaller boy, about 3 or 4, was very short, only 2.5, 3 feet tall, was going behind them, but he was not able to keep up. And the mother, meanwhile, was getting the baby out of the van. And my initial reaction to this was disgust, in a way that I can only say is a part of my own prejudice, my own mechanical mind, because I say, why are these people still wearing the veil, still wearing the headscarf, and they're in my country? I never used to see this when I was growing up, and now they're here everywhere. But as I was walking in, and the young boy and I arrived at the front door at approximately the same time, and the young boy said to me, as we were going in the front door, "I'm getting ice cream." And I couldn't hear him. I said, "What did you say?" He said, and he finally, I got down a little bit closer to him, and he said, "We're getting ice cream." And he smiled at me. And I said, "Oh, that is great. Good for you." And he said, "Yes." And he smiled at me. And he looked around, and he didn't see his father or his brothers and sisters. And he didn't see his mom yet, because his mom was still struggling with the baby. So he waited there in between the open doors. And just that little moment turned my whole attitude around for that family. I thought, they're getting ice cream. Isn't that marvelous? They're getting ice cream, and this precious little boy is just like any other little boy that I can love. He's just another living, breathing, wonderful human being who has a smile on his face and is able to appreciate the day because he's getting ice cream. And that's my introduction. Thank you so much. You mess it up sometimes. You mess up love with thinking about it too hard, with trying to understand it too hard, with questioning it, taking joy in it, even can be an obstruction to love. There are so many different subtle ways in which you can thwart the natural environment of love, which is all around you right now, right here, and capable of doing the most amazing things. It wants to be accessible in the most immediate sense of that word, and you and I thwart that desire of love to be here now, with our thoughts, with our understanding, with so many little things that just put up the barrier to love. And that scalar field metaphor is just right on. The universe is imbued with love. Every single little detail of the universe, every aspect of our universe has love as its very core and heart. And I think that's true. Okay? Love is a choice you make from moment to moment. Love is a choice you make from moment to moment. You know, that rings in me. I can find comfort, and some of these quotes just really just ring in me.